What's up, everybody? King Triple C here, the Olympic champion, flyweight champion, the bantamweight champion of the world. And I got a public service announcement to all you wannabe MMA casuals or MMA fans for that reason. You guys make sure to listen to my boy Story of the Fight with Will and Miro. You know why? Because Triple C said so. And if you don't, you can do me a favor and you can bend the knee to King Triple C 2.
Yeah, I caught the Sanchez fight, and dude, perfect example of like why I want Cerrone to retire soon.
Sanchez,
and why
man.
we talked about Woodley retiring soon. Like a perfect example right there.
Yeah.
Exhibit A. Exhibit A.
How about his lone
Diego
cornerman was Stephan Bonner this fight?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Tough one, dude.
What happened to the crazy dude?
He actually might have been there. But fuck that guy.
Dude, he was probably doing like some fucking like incense in the back and fucking trying to, see who he can
Stephan Bonner's just
for this
looking at
fucking
him.
win. Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, dude.
I just like seeing Stephan Bonner. That guy's sick. He's a goofy guy.
I like Stephan
He's a
Bonner
weirdo,
too.
but
I met him.
Oh, really?
I met him at one of the Best Buy events. Yeah, it wasn't like a full like
Best Buy events.
Yeah, it was like a holiday leadership meeting.
And he was there?
So they sent us off, and Stephan Bonner was there. And dude, the thing is that there was a bunch of people like, "Who's that signing autographs?" And I was like, "Dude, that's fucking Stephan Bonner."
Wait, why was he at that?
All right.
Or he was just there, like...
No, they hire like different people sometimes to like go and like
celebrities?
like sign autographs and yeah.
Wait, Best Buy does? Or it was something else?
Yeah. No, so Best Buy does. So dude, every year there's a holiday leadership meeting, right? Like last year it was in Vegas.
Okay.
The year before that was LA. The year before that it was, I don't remember.
Sick
but
invite.
like Atlanta and shit like that. Yeah, dude. There's no +1s or else I'd take you. But yeah, so like Stephan Bonner was there. I can't remember. I can't remember the pitcher's name. Starting pitcher who only had one hand.
Oh yeah,
So
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
But he was there. Last year though,
What the fuck?
quality went down because the only person they had there was John Walsh.
John Walsh.
Do you know who that is?
That sounds familiar.
From Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh yeah.
The old dude. Yeah, and I was like, fuck.
That's no Stephan Bonner.
He was super cool though. Stephan Bonner was super
That's
cool. Like
so
I said, it wasn't
random that
anything.
they picked Stephan Bonner.
Well, yeah, dude. I'm sure Stephan Bonner's like, yeah, dude. I'll take a few $1,000s.
Yeah.
What do I have to do? Sit there and sign autographs?
Oh, what
but
I
like I
always
said,
do?
there was like, yeah, like I was like, that's Stephan Bonner, and like what? Like I remember hearing one of the guys in line like, who's this guy? And I was like, dude, why are you fucking in line to get an autograph? If you don't know who this is, dude. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, create some room for me so I can actually have a conversation with the guy. So
Yeah.
there's no line and I could just talk to the guy. But it was something really quick.
Damn. Sick, though.
LaDainian Tomlinson was at one of them.
What?
Yeah, dude. That's how I got my LT autograph. It's around here somewhere.
Oh, I didn't even know you had that.
Yeah, it's somewhere over there. But yeah, dude.
That's cool. Stephan Bonner, man.
Yeah.
A legend.
Yeah, I like how we started talking about holiday leadership meeting off of the Diego Sanchez fight.
Yeah, I'm sure he would love
But yeah,
that.
man. He said he had 4 more fights left, right?
Yeah.
This being one of them. It's like, dude, come on. Like, we don't need to see you finish those up either.
Yeah, we don't. We
You know,
don't.
just-
And I thought Jake Matthews maybe gave him a little bit too much respect, to be honest. But I
He
really
almost
like.
caught him in that armbar.
Yeah, I really like Jake Matthews. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
I like his style. His straight punches are really good. He's got pistons. They just go whoosh,
Yeah.
right back.
Pistons.
Yeah.
I like that. Got those Pistons.
Got those pistons. You know what I'm saying? Jake Pistons
All right.
Matthews.
So, your boy, dude, I know you're really high on this guy. You were telling me about him yesterday.
Oh, dude, he's just so exciting. And this fight was so sick. The Riddell versus Da Silva.
Alex?
What's sick is Riddell is the striking coach for City Kickboxing. So he's the striking coach for Adesanya, Cara France, Dan Hooker, all those guys, right? But then he's also in the UFC at the same time. So it's like, goddamn.
So sick.
And dude, he just I thought he definitely lost the first round, and I was like, shit, man, this is going to be De Silva's way of controlling this fight is with the grappling. Mm-hmm. And I was like, props, because and I wasn't bored or anything like that, but I was a little salty because I was like, I want to see Riddell get his hands going, you know what I mean? But the second round was very interesting, just because momentum was for De Silva, and Riddell had to take it to him, right, to get that momentum. And I thought he did a good job of like defending takedowns. And every time he would shoot on him, I was like, no. And because
that crazy sprawl.
Yeah, dude, there was one of his sprawls where not only did he sprawled perfectly, but instead of getting the underhooks, he just pushed down the back of his neck.
Yeah.
And just straight pushed his face against the mat. And I was like, fuck, his forehead's probably burning. He just fucking spiked his right in there. So
Make him think twice about that.
Yeah, seriously. And then he does this thing where he'll throw the jab or something with his lead hand and then come over, like he'll lean, he'll dip, and come over with his right, like he's about to throw. Like it's a heavy feint though. He'll throw the body and then come this and then left hook. So you're leaning away from the right hand, and the left hook comes right into you.
And you go right into the left hook, yeah.
Yeah, it was, and he landed it over and over, and I was like, fuck, that's sick. And things like that, it like goes to show you that like the striking levels, like it's not a crazy combo. It's not like something super unorthodox, but it's just like a stutter in your timing when you think you're free flowing can just throw someone off so much, and he does it so well. That was a banger.
Just really smart striking.
Yeah.
Really smart striking. Mm-hmm. Man, what'd you think about that eye poke?
Oh, dude. Okay, so that's another thing. What's that ref's name? Does it say on here?
I don't think it was the same ref, was it?
Lucas Basaki. That's the guy who refed that fight, and I think he's a terrible ref.
Is he the one I was texting you about?
No, that's another one. The reffing all night was bad. The reffing all night was terrible.
Bad.
Other than Herzog, my boy Herzog held it down. Great ref. But yeah, this guy Lucas Basaki.
It was a straight knuckle right to his eyeball.
It was a left hook clean. It wasn't even this knuckle. It was this knuckle.
Nope.
It was a full-on perfect shot. And if you're a ref and you don't see it, we have to stop this precedent of fighters being able to call timeouts. You know what I mean? And and
it happens way too often.
It happens way too often, and then fighters expect it to happen, and then you look at something like Bisping versus Anderson Silva, where Anderson Silva calls timeout to get his mouthpiece, and Anderson lands a flying knee up against the cage and drops him. So it's like we have to stop this precedent, and I think a good way to fix it, and the best way to fix it is to allow instant replay, right? Like, because in Nevada you can go to the replay, especially on a thing like that, and go back to the fight. They can't do that, I guess, in Fight Island. I don't know. Maybe they can. They just don't even know they can, because that's how the rules seem to be enforced now. But another way I was thinking is, what if there's a ref sitting cage side with just the monitor, or maybe in the locker room with the monitor, and they're linked with the ref that's in the cage. So anytime there's a foul, he can be like... That
might be the best idea
right?
you had.
I know, dude.
Because think about it. In all the major sports, MLB, NFL, when they're like, well, fuck, I don't know, let me go to instant replay. They put the headset on right away, and right away they're in communication with this, a bunch of other head referees.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, that'd be a perfect example.
That's the way to do it.
Just goes up to the cage, hand him the headphone, he puts them on. The ref in the back says, dude, clean punch, man. Get the fight going again.
Get it now.
Takes
because
it right
he's
off.
rocked.
Less than a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And you're back.
Yep.
Dude, that's
the way.
a fucking good idea, dude.
That's the way, dude. I was thinking about it, and I was like, damn. Because the ref, while he's in there, if it is an illegal shot, his job is to go and make sure the fighter's okay. So he's not focusing on, I got to go back and look at it real quick and see this and that. So you have somebody else just dedicated for that, while the ref can tend to the guy. If it was an eye poke, he can continue that path. But if it's not, he says, saddle up, fucker. We're getting back into it. You know what I mean?
What if he just has like an earpiece in too?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because...
he wouldn't even have to like let's say he calls time because somebody's like, oh, my eye.
Yeah.
Right? He calls time, and then right away, instant replay, like 5 seconds in,
exactly.
They're like, continue the fight. And he's like, no, we gotta go. You know what I mean? Oh, dude, Will, I love that idea, man.
Dude, it was...
Best idea you've ever had.
If they had that, Paul Daly would still be in the UFC. How about that?
Dang. This idea might be a few years too late, Will.
It's. I mean,
at least it is for Paul Daly.
Yeah, it's too late for Paul Daly, but yeah, that pissed me off because I think he would have got the finish right there if they didn't stop it, and it would have been cool for him to get a finish because I like it. I mean, I like him so much. He's such an exciting fighter, and De Silva brought it, man. And I think one of the most impressive things in this fight, I saw people praising like his cardio and stuff, how he was able to continue all 3 rounds with the pace. But if you notice, right at the end of the fight, he immediately sits down against the cage.
Yeah.
And exhausted. So it's not just that he has like Diaz brother style marathon cardio. It's about, I know exactly how much I can give so that I don't have anything left as soon as the bell rings. And I think that's so impressive. That type of like understanding of your own body and how hard to push yourself is so sick. Great fight.
For sure. And like you said, you were super high on Riddell, and dude, that entire group is just so fun.
Dude, and they're so wholesome, dude. Like they're all just like, they have each other's backs on like all kinds of different stuff. And like, did you see the locker room post fight after Izzy won?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Where they're all celebrating?
Yeah. And Cara France is in there, who got finished.
Yeah, and he's celebrating with him.
Yeah. Probably because he got 50 G's.
Too. 50 G's, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Mean Hakeem Dawodu.
Yeah.
And Tukhugov.
Tukhugov.
Fuck, man. Tukhugov.
Yeah.
Tukhugov. This is after we practice, Will. You're saying this freaking name. Tukhugov.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Dude, this fight, I'm so high on Dawodu. I think he's the next like Canadian front runner. Like they had GSP, then they had Roy McDonald, then they're kind of in limbo with nobody in the UFC. I mean, they have people, right, but nothing like those type of guys. And I think Dawodu has the potential to be one of those guys. I
love his intensity, man.
Dude, that 3rd round, oh my god.
Oh
dude.
my god, yeah.
I said same thing. I was like, don't get knocked out. Don't get knocked out.
I was so pissed that the ref was like, stop talking, be respectful. And I was like, dude, they're fucking fighting now.
So that's the stupidest thing is there's literally in the unified rules, it's against the rules to be disrespectful during the fight. Oh, that's one of the rules. So it's like, but just
these guys are fighting and they're trying to hurt each other.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to cause damage, trying to knock each other out.
Trying to knock each other out.
And this guy's yelling at him, you know, telling him to stop running.
Yeah.
Let's fucking fight. The dude's like, be respectful. I'm just like, dude, just shut up right now, bro. Just fucking let him fight.
Like, he should be yelling at the other guy. Fucking.
Yeah. Be respectful. You, stop running. Yeah. You know?
Dude, so this one.
Tukhugov, man.
This one, I think, is one of those fights where commentary really sways public opinion, because I had Dawodu winning all 3 rounds. The first round, and those live tweets, everyone's like, oh, Tukhugov won the first round. And then there's some people giving Dawodu the second round, but then a lot of people were giving Tukhugov the second round as well, I guess because of the takedown that did nothing. But the first round was closer in my opinion, but they were talking so much about the head movement and the striking speed of Tukhugov, but they weren't talking about the body shots. They weren't talking about the crazy, like the gnarly leg kicks from Dawodu, where Dawodu outstruck him in all 3 rounds. And Tukhugov, landed maybe more head strikes in the first round, but I mean, in my opinion,
I think that's where the judges come into play, because it's kind of like with you and me when we compare our cards, because I had a 29-28 too, but I guess on the judges, right, if they don't really take those leg strikes into consideration as much as those head strikes, and that's when somebody might be swayed one way or another. Because you're right, the first round was pretty close.
It was a close fight, close round. Yeah, and I scored it for Dawodu, but I'm not mad at anybody scoring it for Tukhugov. The big thing for me is the second round. A lot of people thought Tukhugov won that second round, and it's like, how? He got outstruck 2-1 basically, and then he got a takedown, a 50 seconds of top control. Not even one punch landed on the ground. No submission attempts.
Yeah.
He just had top control. So that just erases all the striking clinic that Dawodu was putting on. Come on. Hate that.
Yeah, definitely had it two rounds to 1.
Yeah. And that's a fair
Dawodu.
score. Yeah, that's definitely a fair score. And
I think 2 things that really killed Tukhugov.
Mm-hmm.
1, single strikes, no combos.
yeah.
He'd go in with that quick right and then right away move back. So he was probably scared of a counter from Dawodu.
Yeah, they're both so
because
quick.
he'd go in and out.
Yeah.
In and out.
And both of them were doing the whole sway thing.
And the other thing was that 3rd round, man. The last minute and a half, what are you doing?
Dude,
what are you doing?
But I think that's part of leg kicks. Now he can't enter in like he could before. And we'll talk about that later too. But eating those leg kicks all night, and then that 3rd round, especially he missed weight. Who knows what his in shape level was? And those those left hooks to the body from Dawodu, those pay dividends, dude. That's just money in the bank for later rounds. So like I think missing weight, body shots, and leg kicks, and getting outstruck, I think all that played a factor of him just. I don't think he could go. You know what I mean? And granted, if you watch his fights, 3rd rounds, he's usually pretty slow in the 3rd rounds. Mm-hmm. So I think all that combined, I don't think he had anything left.
Do you think part of it was that maybe he thought he had the first 2 rounds locked in?
I think that plays a part too. I also think he was trying to bait him into a takedown, to have him come forward, and then he can just change levels as soon as he actually fully commits.
Yeah. Dude, I was at the edge of my seat, though, when I saw Dawodu walking towards him with his hands
like,
down, yelling at him. I was like, oh,
Fuck,
dude. That was
and
so
with
intense.
no crowd, too. We need more moments like that while they're still not able to have crowds. Because...
Oh, I know, man.
God, that was so fucking sick.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, and another thing that I think really goes to show the potential that Dawodu has is when they were standing in the pocket and they would swing at each other and they're both countering back, leaning back. Tukhugov would throw, lean back. Dawodu was doing the same thing, but anytime Dawodu would exit with the lean back, he'd throw a swift leg kick to the lead leg every time. So they were getting these little moments where they're both leaning back, dodging shots, but at the end of every single exchange, Dawodu was landing that leg kick. Yeah,
extra damaging.
Mm-hmm. It's like the punctuation mark on the end of the sentence. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Right on.
That was a sick fight, man. I love Dawodu.
It was. I like Dawodu too.
Yeah.
Cara France versus Royval.
Fuck, dude.
What a fight.
It's fucking crazy.
Fight of the night?
Yeah, one fight of the night, yeah.
Dude, hands down.
Yeah, without a doubt, dude. How he didn't just go out from that overhand right from Cara France. Insane, dude. That was so heavy, and he's already leaning back. And he got hit with that multiple times, but the first one was fucking brutal, dude. That was crazy.
Yeah, is that the one where you try to stand up again and he's like, oh, leg's still not there.
I'm just gonna throw a spinning back elbow.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Oh man.
That entire fight, I was just I was like standing up.
Yeah.
My family probably thinks I'm so weird, man, because I'm like, we didn't have anybody over last night, and I'm just like standing up, sitting down on the edge of my seat, and I'm like clapping by myself. You know what I mean? Like, just so weird.
But, that was fuck, man. That guy.
The pressure, the volume. You could tell that Cara France like at certain points was like overwhelmed, man. Like up against the cage, and you could see it in his face where he's just like, dude, what do I do, man? Like this guy's just non-stop coming at me, and with unorthodox shit.
Dude, it was like the pace of Nate Diaz in the later rounds mixed with like the creativity of like Tony Ferguson. That shit was crazy.
That's a good comparison.
Just constantly throwing, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way these have power on it. And then they land, and you see the power, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude? How? He's not even planting his feet.
Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson had a baby.
Yeah, that's Tony Diaz right there.
Royval.
That's my boy Tony Diaz.
He was so much fun though, so much fun to watch.
Yeah,
and props to Cara France too, because he was game, man.
He was game.
He was game. He was down to exchange.
Definitely.
And unfortunately on the losing end of this one, but man, I'm becoming a big fan of Royval real quick.
Dude, man, 2-0 in the UFC. Tim Elliott, Cara France. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
And finished Elliott too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The guillotine, was it?
Yeah, he subbed him with something, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish Demetrius was still in the UFC. Because finally this division has Cara France, Royval. I think Tim Elliott is still super badass. And then Davison Figueiredo is fucking gnarly. And then we just give me Demetrius back. Now he has a division of contenders that he can actually run,
and
go
big
with.
names where he defeats these big names, and people would be like, dude, look at
Give
how
him the
legit
respect finally.
Demetrius is. Yeah, exactly. I'm right there with you. And I love that Royval at the end, too, was like, man, I was going to call somebody out in the top 5, but, man, I got dropped twice in the first few minutes.
Yeah.
I got to go back to the drawing board first. You know, so had fun in there, intense, high output, exciting to watch, and seems to be humble as well.
Seems to be humble, yeah.
You know, he's like, seems to be checking off a lot of boxes right now for somebody that has the potential to be a star in the UFC.
Yeah, and nobody's talking about it, and it sucks. Like, literally, I couldn't find anybody bringing it up. That same referee that you had qualms with in the Dawodu fight, ref this fight, and we're just gonna glance over the illegal knee. We're just not gonna talk about that.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, what?
They were trying to say that it was to the neck.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Dude.
That was.
If Izzy can knock out Costa by hitting him right here, come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's okay.
But Izzy has precision,
Precision.
as he says.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, he doesn't need power.
That I was like, damn, dude, that we can't have that.
Yeah, that was rough.
And actually, I made a mistake. Tapology had it wrong with who the referee was this fight, and I thought it was weird that they listed him. It was your boy with the knuckle to the eyeball.
Okay. I wasn't the be respectful guy.
Wasn't the be respectful guy. It was the guy I already had qualms with.
So something that he should have not called, he called. Something that he should have called, he let go.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this guy. He's unorthodox too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, unorthodox referee.
You just don't know what to expect, man. You know, you're so exciting.
Fuck, dude. But yeah, I don't think it really had a big outcome on the fight. But
you know, no Mark Goddard though. No Herb Dean.
Yeah, your boy Herzog though.
It was just Herzog. Yeah, Herzog had a little questionable call too. I thought. Was it on the Eubanks fight where he stood him up?
I was okay with that.
Were you?
Yeah, because
I thought it was kind of early.
For me, it was over a minute in guard with no even attempts to pass or to land any big shots, and Eubanks was trying to just control posture and ride it out. So I was like, yeah, I was okay with that.
Kind of felt like he listened to Eubanks, because Eubanks at one point you could see her look over to him and was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, but I mean,
and shortly after that,
she was right.
Like, you're right. Let's stand it up.
But she was right. I mean,
yeah, I would like to see him let it go a little bit longer, just to see if she's able to do anything else.
But she wasn't even trying. That's my thing. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't.
I mean, she was landing.
She was
a couple of small shots.
Yeah,
I don't think it was anything significant.
Ones, you know,
I don't think it was anything significant. Yeah. But
for me, it's like if you're gonna jump into somebody's guard, either posture up or try to pass. You know what I mean? Was
that lay and pray for you?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm all for letting the ground game play out and stuff. But for me, that one, I just didn't see it going anywhere. You know what I mean?
Show me something. Why not give that warning? Maybe he did and I didn't hear it.
Maybe he did and I didn't hear it either. I didn't have my volume very high up for that.
You would think you would hear something like that. You know, like show me something you're standing up.
I wonder if
give
he
an
did.
opportunity, and if not, I didn't hear it.
Yeah,
that's part of the reason why I didn't like, because if
no warning.
It's one thing if he says, "Hey, we need action." You know, you got to show me something here. Very similar to like before they stop a fight.
Yeah.
You know, you got to defend yourself. Show me something. But it is what it is, man. And it's not like this was a huge fight where this is going to determine who goes up for the title next. You know, so it is what it is. But
it might, dude. That division sucks.
Dude, this next fight though, man. This next fight.
So I
Reyes versus Blachowicz.
Yeah, I picked Reyes, but this is one of those ones where I was like, I'm picking Reyes, but I want Jan to win. I love Jan. Like,
I like Jan too.
He's so cool, dude. Like, he's super game, and honestly, maybe it's just because I'm a fan of him, but when I almost texted you similar to when you texted me about Mackenzie Dern. When they were like doing the lead up real quick right before the fight started, I was like, I should have picked Jan, dude. I was feeling it for him. I was like, man, I should have picked him.
That's how I felt this entire fucking card, Will. I had an awful night in picks.
You got one.
I got one right. Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, you got one.
The last one.
That's better than none.
That is true. That is one more than zero.
Yeah.
but it's also 4 less than 5.
Yeah.
So
you're batting 200.
But, no. Dude, I'm at the Mendoza line. Let's do this. But Blachowicz, did you hear that crazy story about his pre-fight ritual?
Yeah. Dude. He goes...
When I heard that, I was like, what the Like, I've never heard anything like that.
I know. Say it real quick in case people
First
don't know.
First of all, yeah, so I guess one day he was like running or going for a walk or something like that, and while he's running on this trail, he sees somebody that hung themselves on a tree, committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So he reports it, whatever, and I guess the Polish officer was like, man, that was good luck. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, there's somebody that just committed suicide. He's like, yeah, whenever you see something like that, if you go back and you touch the rope or touch the tree that they hung themselves on, then it's good luck. So ever since that happened, before every fight he goes back to where he found that person and touches the rope. First of all, why is that rope still there?
Crime scene. They're still investigating.
Years later.
Yeah.
And unsolved mystery. Fuck, John Walsh.
Yeah.
But it all full circle. Dude, it came back to him full circle. But the fact that that's like something in Poland.
Yeah, dude.
Different
Poland's got
cultures.
some dark history, bro. They've been through some shit, dude. You know what I mean?
And for Blachowicz to be like, yeah, that makes sense. But it's been helping him apparently before he goes.
Dude.
And he's been murdering people with this right hand from Poland.
If that helps him get into the mind space too, I'm sure it does. Like, fuck, dude. That's some heavy shit. And
it is.
He just seems... If it were there's other fighters that if I heard that about, I would be like, fucking weirdos. But for some reason, when I heard about him, I was like, it's all good, dude. You know what I mean?
What?
I don't know why, dude. But for some reason, I'm just like, yeah, cool. But I feel like for most fighters, I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? No,
sounds
don't do that.
normal.
Yeah, for some reason, I'm just cool with it. No idea why. I have no reason why.
That's so funny. Dude, he looks so relaxed in there, though.
Yeah. I mean, he's been doing it for so long.
Relaxed.
You know?
Yeah, he has been doing it for so long. I expected Reyes to come in relaxed too, though, considering that his last fight was against John Jones. Whenever you fight John Jones, man, there's always a lot of press and there's always, big lights. And
yeah.
So I thought that him going from that to Jan would help him out. And he seems so hesitant. He didn't want to pull the trigger.
Well, I think because Jan is such a good counter striker. He's such a good counter striker.
That's what I was going to say. And after the end of the fight and you see the result, I'm like, well, that's exactly why.
Yeah, you look at...
That is exactly why.
Most of his finishes come from someone blitzing him, and he just, whoop, bam. And then they just drop.
He just couldn't get anything off, though.
No, and dude...
Couldn't get anything off.
Can we talk about the fact that he looked like he had a tattoo after 2 body kicks?
Ooh.
I've never seen that happen so quick.
Nasty. And you could actually see some of his toes.
Dude.
Did you notice that?
Yeah,
Ooh.
We've seen that before in fights, but never off of 2 kicks. That is insane, dude. For before they said anything about it, he circled and it showed the first time. I was watching a stream and it wasn't like they go up and down in quality, right? And it wasn't like perfectly clear at that moment.
ESPN stream, of course.
Yeah, and on the official app, and. For a second, I was like, oh, I don't remember him having a side tattoo right there. That's like a weird spot to have a tattoo. And then they started talking about it. I was like, what the fuck? And then it cleared up, and you can see like the outline of everything. And then
straight purple and pink and
dude,
it was.
I've never seen it happen that quick. Normally, it's like, yeah, you eat like 9 or 10 body kicks, and we're in round 3 or something. But dude, instantly. And I thought he was going to have success with the high kick because of that, because those body kicks were open over and over and over again. And I thought maybe Reyes' arm's going to start dropping a little bit, and then he's going to come over the top. It didn't happen, but he still got it done, man. Dude, and can we talk about how he completely rearranged his face with one punch?
That's what I was going to say right now. That got through the high guard.
Yeah.
And when they showed it in slow motion.
His nose is over here.
Yeah, they showed it in slow motion, and you see his nose just whoop.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit.
Dude,
that was the beginning of the end right there.
Dude, he hits so hard, and it's not like it's one of those things where, like when Masvidal fought Nate wore a lot of damage pretty early, but it's also because Nate's face
Scar tissue.
Yeah, it's been ravaged for years and years and years. Reyes is young and has never been like he's never had like beatdowns, you know what I mean? So the fact that he can have that visible impact on just a few strikes, I mean, one punch that completely rearranged his face, 2 kicks that gave him a tattoo on his side, like, dude, the impact that he has in his shots is insane. And
yeah,
one of the coolest things for me was after when someone who's like been through some shit, just like been through the ringer in your career, right, and they become a champ, some of their reactions are just so human. And he knocks him out, he's screaming all that stuff, sits down, and then he looks around and he's just like taking in everything and like smiling. And it reminded me when Stipe beat Verdum, and he's just like, I'm the world champ, yeah. Just like screaming, like he couldn't even believe it. Like, dude, so sick. I love seeing stuff like that. It seems like such a good dude.
Yeah, man, cool. And it's all because of that rope he touches before every fight.
That guy died for this.
Oh, fuck. But yeah, man, Reyes will be back, man. He's young. He's 30 years old, right? 30? Is he even 30 yet?
He's young.
He's super young.
He's exactly 30.
Yeah, and he hasn't been fighting for too long compared to Blachowicz, for example. So he'll be back.
I mean, his only 2 losses have come in title fights. Not too bad.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
And when Reyes finally started letting his hands go a little bit more in the second round, and then Blachowicz would respond with some of his own, there's just such a difference in power and impact.
Yeah.
Like, everything that Blachowicz was hitting Reyes with, you could tell was taking a toll on Reyes. Every single shot.
But I think
even if it didn't seem like it was super clean.
Yeah, I don't think it was even necessarily that he had better looking striking. I think Jan's defense was just much better. So Reyes was throwing with power, and his hands were quick, and it looked like vicious strikes, but Blachowicz's ability to create angles and deflect and roll with shots was just a little bit more like advanced than Reyes. Reyes was wearing the shots a lot cleaner, but I don't think it was necessarily that Reyes' striking was like worse. I think Blachowicz's defense was just much more like succinct. You know what I mean?
Do you think it was a difference in power too?
Yeah, I mean, I think Blachowicz hits hard as fuck. I think for some reason I don't think he gets like the respect that he like deserves. Maybe it's because that division is kind of looked at as like already run through and kind of barren and things like that, and he gets kind of lumped in with some of these older fighters who are still hanging around there in the wake of Jon Jones. But I mean, he's always been fucking vicious, you know, like.
Yeah, and that actually brings me to my next question that I wanted to ask you, because Jon Jones tweeted out, you know, would y'all be mad if I came back to get my belt back?
Dude, it sucks because before Jon, I didn't like that Jon vacated the belt, to be honest. I think it was shitty of the UFC to force him to do that. And I mean, say what you want about Jon Jones, you can create a very big list, but it sucks because his resume, the only person that's missing is Jan, and it's a person that Jon even said, like, yeah, let's get Jan in there. He's the next contender, and we still never got it. That sucks.
Yep.
It sucks for Jan.
I would love to see Jon Jones versus Jan, Jon Jones versus Rumble Johnson. I think those are the two that come to mind.
We could still get Rumble.
For sure. So would you be okay with Jon Jones then saying, JK on the heavyweight division, let me get one more fight in at 205 and go from there?
100%. I don't give a fuck, dude. I just want to see. Jon's the greatest. It's either Jon or GSP for me. So Jon can still add to that list. And I just want to see him add any new name that deserves it. You know what I mean? I just want to see him continue to be tested. And I think a fight like this, we've said it before, where John, I think, fights to the level of that he perceives his opponents to be at. So he fights slower and not as vicious and not as creative when he thinks, I can just coast in this fight and do this and win. I think he did that with Reyes. He did that with Anthony Smith. He did that with Thiago Santos. Yeah. And he makes these fights much closer, but because I think he's not even fighting to his full capability, because I think he thinks that he doesn't have to. And if you look at his record, he's proven that he doesn't have to. But I think...
And after seeing Blachowicz versus Corey Anderson, and after seeing Blachowicz versus Reyes,
this is the big
Reyes
one.
gave him a little bit of a tough time.
Yeah, that was the toughest fight for John in a long time.
It gets him excited.
That's exactly it.
To think, like, this is a challenge.
Exactly, because now he can go in with that mentality of, I went 5 rounds with Reyes, lost a couple rounds. A lot of people think that Reyes won that fight, and then Jan goes out and starches him. Now I got to go in and make a statement against Jan. You know what I mean? And that's why I want to see it.
Yeah, me too. I as soon as he tweeted that, I was like, yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please. There's nothing set in stone yet with him within the heavyweight division. Like, other than him saying I'm going to move up.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been any, like, fights that have been announced, you know. Although, if they're planning on tossing John Jones in versus Stipe right away, then I'd say, let me...
Yeah, but then
I'd rather watch that.
They want Ngannou. They want Ngannou to be the champ, you know? So...
Yeah.
I think,
they really do.
Yeah, I think...
They really want Ngannou.
Yeah. If it's not John, then... The time is right, though, because Glover versus Thiago keeps getting postponed, and that's the number 1 contender fight. That keeps getting postponed. John's chilling. You know what I mean? John's ready to go right now. Blachowicz probably would want a very long camp to prepare for John Jones, but there's no clear contender in that division yet. You can argue that it should just be Santos, but he's got a fight booked. That's the number 1 contender fight. So technically, there's no number 1 contender now. So let's just throw John back.
So what if Glover happens to beat Thiago? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Glover versus your boy Jan?
Dude, if Glover beats Thiago, he absolutely deserves a title shot.
The title shot? That would be his last run at the title. It has to be, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, Glover, he's got a good streak going right now, does he not? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's got 4. He's got a 4-fight win streak. If he beats Thiago, that's a 5-fight win streak.
Who's in there? We're talking Anthony Smith.
Anthony Smith finish. Nikita Krylov, which is a great fight. He won a decision on that one. Ion Kutalaba, he choked him out. Carl Roberson choked him out. So he's got finishes in there too. So I mean,
the resurgence, man, of Glover Teixeira.
I mean, Glover for a long time, dude, you could have said was the best fighter outside of the UFC. We got him past his prime, you know.
I mean, he's still doing pretty good right now, though. Man, I just remember seeing the Glover versus Gustafsson. Mm-hmm. And I was like, fuck, I don't know how you rebound from that.
Yeah.
And then look at him. He's right there in title contention again, man. So props to Glover.
Yeah, and I think,
he's the one that lost a tooth, right? Was it to Glover or was it to
Gustafsson knocked the tooth out. Or no, Rumble.
Gustafsson.
Rumble knocked the tooth out.
Rumble knocked his tooth out.
Yeah, and then he knocked the tooth out of Anthony Smith.
Yeah. That's right. Man.
Yeah. So now Anthony Smith
paid it forward.
He
paid it forward.
So now,
what a nice guy.
Anthony Smith's got to take a tooth out of somebody. But
that's the way it works.
That's the way it works. It has to. But yeah, Glover. That's the only division where he has a path to a championship. To be honest, not just because of his size. Obviously, that's the division he fights in. But skill-wise, there's really no other division that someone like him would be able to continue to fight for the belt. But man, if he beats Thiago, right. I don't think he does. I think Thiago beats him.
Yeah, I don't think he does either.
But if he does, that's pretty
just
impressive.
Just what if? Big what if.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right,
impressive.
Man. You want to move on?
Yeah.
This is my story of the fight.
Yeah, Sam, come on.
I mean, how can it not be?
Yeah.
You know, there's just so much hype going into this fight. So much hype.
$120.
And they build up There you go, my man.
Yeah.
And they built this entire, or the entire buildup was all around this huge, crazy, powerful person in Costa with knockout power like the UFC has never seen in this middleweight division. And, you hear Joe Rogan being like, he's a scary man. And I remember hearing about this fight and I was like, oh, this is going to be an easy fight.
Same.
For Adesanya.
Same.
And I had my boy Dom at work who loves boxing, but he also watches some UFC.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, man, what do you think about the fight coming up? And I said, Adesanya, TKO, 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to go into the 4th round.
Yeah.
But I called Adesanya TKO, hands down. And he texted me this morning. He's like, dude, I won $150, with that advice. And I was like, yeah.
Nice.
So,
nice. Where did he get odds? Like, how much did he bet? $120?
No, probably with some buddies or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. Makes sense.
He was going to the bar afterwards with some friends. But
yeah,
it's as soon as I saw this fight announced, I thought this is exactly how it was going to play out.
This is one of those ones where the amount of people who were like, oh, Costa's going to run through him. Like, Costa just caters to that casual kind of fan base so well. It's like, dude, who's going to stop him? It's like, well, he hasn't fought anybody other than Yoel. I mean, Uriah Hall dropped him. Like, Uriah Hall is no disrespect to Uriah Hall. He's a fantastic striker, but
no disrespect.
Izzy's like what I expected Uriah Hall to be like when he first came to the UFC. And
that's a good point, man.
Yeah.
You think about like the hype behind Uriah Hall too, and his fights within Tough,
mm-hmm.
and you're right.
Unorthodox
this is kind of what you envision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, long. But
mm-hmm.
Costa, the keys to success for Costa, right? Hit him because he hits hard as fuck, cut off the cage. Mm-hmm. That's all he ever does in all his fights. He cuts off the cage and he throws with reckless abandon, very aggressive, throws hard, pretty good volume to cardio ratio. His cardio, I mean, obviously he fades later in fights, but with that style, rarely do you have to go to later rounds. But his cage cutting off skills, everybody talks about how, nobody cuts off the cage like Costa. No. People cut off the cage better than Costa. He comes forward.
Yeah.
He plods forward and he throws hard. That's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to tell me that over 100 fights, Adesanya hasn't fought somebody like that, come on. What are we doing? You think he's never fought an ultra-aggressive power striker in a ring?
Yeah.
In a ring. He doesn't get cut off in the corner of a ring. You think he's going to get cut off in basically a circle? It's not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was masterful performance. And, you see Costa come out more calculated because he did know, I can't just come forward at this guy like I did with everybody else, like I did with Yoel Romero, like I did with Uriah Hall. So there was a level of respect there. And I think what caused him to finally start letting his hands go and be more aggressive is he knew he wasn't going to be able to stand on that leg for much longer.
I got to do it now, otherwise I'll never be able to.
He had a great poker face,
mm-hmm.
right? And he could smile all he wants and talk all the shit that he wants while he's getting that leg kicked out from underneath him.
Yeah.
But I guarantee, man, he was probably thinking, I cannot take another round or round and a half of this.
Yeah.
It's either going to happen now or it's not going to happen at all,
mm-hmm.
And he just said, YOLO, went in there real quick, tried to throw a couple big shots, and Adesanya was like, dude, this is exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Right? Just come towards me.
I was
off his back leg too, off his
back
foot.
That's what he does every time.
I think he did that against Whitaker too.
Dude, if you look at side by side the finishes at the same time, identical. Every single time he goes in the pocket, the other person ends up on the ground. Every single time. You just cannot. The only person who had any success going into the pocket with him was Kelvin Gastelum, because Kelvin doesn't give a fuck. He's like, I already know I'm going to eat these shots, but I'm going to come through with straight...
And he has a granite chin.
He has a granite chin. And he doesn't throw looping shots. They're very straight. So it's harder for Izzy to bob and weave on those shots. Or if you're going to say, I'm going to take these shots and come forward with straight punches, that's the only way you're going to have success striking with them. And people looked at that Kelvin fight and were like, oh, if Kelvin could do that, Costa's going to run through him. It's like, dude, very different. Just because they come forward and throw hard doesn't mean that they're the same.
But I also feel like Adesanya had a different game plan going into that. I don't know whether he wanted to prove to himself that can stand and bang.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he wanted to just have and show fans like I can win this way too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was, but I honestly feel like if he wanted to, that outcome of that fight would have been totally different. The striking level of Adesanya reminds me of a young Anderson Silva, where you start thinking about who's gonna beat this guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
And people are like, oh, dude, he just ruffles so many feathers. People don't want to like him at all, you know. And all these casual,
I love it.
All these casual fans just drink the Kool-Aid on Costa, and now they're just like, But the thing about like that like casual perspective is you're only as good as your last fight. And you know how many times I heard people say, dude, Izzy did nothing against, Izzy's a boring fighter, he did nothing against Yoel. And it's like, that's what happens when two counter-strikers fight, first of all. Every time that's what happens. Look at Anderson's run. No one remembers those fights, but those fights were in there. And you're just going to disregard the Whitaker fight, the Kelvin fight, the Brunson fight, the Anderson fight because of one fight, and you think he's washed up, or you think he's a boring fighter all of a sudden? Come on.
Yeah.
Styles make fights. And I was talking to my buddy Josh, shout out Coleslaw. He had Costa winning too, but not. He was seeing it as, Costa hasn't been really tested in the top 10, top 5 as much. But when you look at what he was able to do with Yoel in firefights, that nobody else can really stand and bang with Yoel. I mean, Robert Whitaker technically won those fights, but he did not come out unscathed. And Costa did better in the pocket with Yoel than anybody we've ever seen. So his line of thinking was, if Costa could survive and deal that damage in the pocket against Yoel, who's a very good counter striker as well, he can probably hang in there with Izzy as well. And I was like, that's better than what I'm hearing from most people. Most people are like, Costa beat Yoel, Izzy tried to run from Yoel, Costa's gonna win.
MMA math. MMA math.
Yeah. But for me, it was like, man, you cannot judge a fighter just off their last fight. Unless they got completely dismantled for 5 rounds and got the shit kicked out of them and had no answer, then maybe, you can judge them on their last fight. But a style matchup, you can't judge someone off a style matchup on their last fight.
Adesanya looks better and better
every time.
Every fight.
Every time.
It's so scary. Yesterday, I saw something that somebody posted that's his 100th professional win.
Yeah.
He's had over 100 fights.
Yeah.
But his 100th professional win.
106.
And to think that this guy's still getting better is scary.
Well, because you think about
it's insane.
You think about it, he mastered kickboxing pretty much, right? Obviously, there's people better at him than kickboxing, but he mastered it. And now he comes over to MMA, and he's starting to master MMA as well, because striking in MMA is different. You can't just go in there and fight like how you kickbox. You're going to get taken down. It's different angles. The gloves are different, all this stuff. So now we're seeing him build up on his mastery of kickboxing by applying new things in MMA that he's learning. And people hate on him. They say he's cringy and corny and he's a boring fighter after the Yoel fight, all this stuff. But this guy on Reddit put it out perfectly. And he said, Izzy's fucking great, fights brilliantly, speaks eloquently. He apologizes to a reporter for missing an interview. He drills the media crap. He dedicates the win to victims of bullying. He gives Dana crap about fighters not making weight, etc. 100th win, made it look easy, finishes fights, and he fights like 3 or 4 times a year. He's a champion you all wish for, but most of you can't see it.
Wow.
Everybody's paying attention to the anime and the corny trash talking a little bit and stuff like that.
You know what?
But it's like,
I like
dude,
that.
I
fucking like that.
Yeah.
He's real.
He's so fucking real.
You know, how many professional fighters out there are gonna talk to you about anime?
Yeah, wearing
a lot of his
Naruto shirts and
references,
shit.
A lot of his references, no fucking clue. You know, no clue.
Yeah.
But I do know that he did the Naruto run last night in the octagon after he won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the last Stylebender, he talks about how he got that name off the last Airbender and why. Like, he has so many references. So he seems like a nerdy dude. And his dancing and dude, he is really good on social media. He's so quick on his toes. Like, his shit talking. You saw what he said to Captain America's yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, in the octagon. Dude, there's just There's so many things about him.
Yeah.
That just make me like this guy.
Yeah. How about the fact that he literally, well, after he finished Costa and Costa's in the turtle position and he's getting off of him, he goes back and dry humps some doggy style real quick, and then gets back up. Like, whoa, what?
Then Herzog's like, stop dry humping him.
Yeah.
You know, like,
dude. And I saw a bunch of people being like, dude, this guy's such a sore winner. He's out here talking shit to the coaches. He does the dry hump thing to Costa. Breakdances right next to him while he's like still recovering. He's such a salty, like, sore winner. It's like, dude, did you not watch any of the build up to this fight? Did you not listen to any of the shit that was being said? You don't think he can relish in this victory a little bit and rub it in their faces? Fuck out of here, dude.
And that's why he looks into the camera and he says, stay salty, my friends. Because he knows that there's going to be a bunch of people that are super salty, especially like you were saying, the MMA casual fans are like, it's fucking Hulk versus the style bender.
Versus this anime
Hulk's
kid.
going to smash. Yeah, versus that, so whatever, dude. It is what it is. I hope that this isn't a case like we saw with Daniel Cormier. Because I loved Daniel Cormier for the longest time. And Daniel Cormier got so much hate up until the later part of his career where he became this beloved fighter. Yeah. And everybody finally saw what you saw, what I saw for the longest time. And I hope that this isn't a case with Izzy where people don't start appreciating him until later on in his career.
I don't think it will, because I think one of the key factors with the DC thing was what started it all, I think, was the paper champ thing. Everybody knew John was out there. John would be champ. John beat him, all this stuff. And that's where people were like, oh, he's not the real champ. And that's kind of where that narrative got its wheels,
I also think that there was a big part of the fan base that felt like they had to be Team Jones or Team Cormier. And they couldn't appreciate what Cormier was doing if they were Team Jones. And John Jones has a big following, man. So there was a lot of people that felt forced to hate Cormier.
Yeah, and I don't think Izzy has that dynamic, because Izzy, there's no GOAT in the middleweight division anymore who, he's only the champ because of this guy sitting out right now or whatever. I mean, dude, Derek Brunson, Anderson Silva, Kelvin Gastelum, Robert Whittaker, Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa. What the fuck?
Murderers Row.
What the
Murderers
fuck?
Row. And I love the fact, like, when he says this, I believe it. When he says, I want to fight the best people out there so I can go down a legend. Yeah. So they could say he fought everybody. He fought all the toughest guys and he beat them all. He's the GOAT. Like, I really truly believe that he wants to leave being considered the best to ever do it.
Yeah, and that's why he's calling out Jared Cannonier. If Jared Cannonier beats Robert Whittaker, I wish they'd never even made that fight. I think Jared Cannonier is the number one contender no matter what. I love Robert Whittaker, but I don't really want to see Whittaker versus Izzy again. Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
I want to see him continue to fight. We finally have a dominant, super fun fighter who's has the ability to finish constantly as the champ, and in a division where there's still Darren Till, there's still Jack Hermanson, there's still Jared Cannonier. Jacare Souza could come back in that division and pose a threat.
Dude, we have, again, like you said, somebody that's very well-spoken, good-looking, appeals to different types of demographics.
Yeah.
So anybody that's watching anime, that's high on Twitch, gaming, anything like that can gravitate to this person. Like, he can reach so many households. Maybe not the young kids yet with the type of stuff he says after the fights. I don't know if parents are down with that. But they're going to learn sooner or later. Yeah. So, but I just think that the UFC has an absolute superstar in Stylebender, and I hope that they market him well. And
they will, because the thing that's undeniable, no matter what, and like I said earlier, everybody who goes into the fire with him ends up on the ground. That's undeniable. So no matter what you think about him, if you watch him fight, because you're going to, because he's the champ, so you're gonna watch the title fights, you're gonna see him get finishes, and it's undeniable.
I remember the knockout after he knocked out Whittaker, and he looked at his hands. He's like, I don't have any power in my hands. Yeah. And that's because, again, people just look past the fact that he does have a lot of knockouts on his record, man. A lot of TKOs, a lot of knockouts. So, people start appreciating this man. Yeah. Oh, what's up with his chest? So I was reading through it, right? And there's people saying it's gyno. There's somebody made a really good point though, and they said this is the exact same thing I had. And I was dealing with the cyst.
Yeah, it could be some fluke thing.
Yeah, and he was saying it's one of those things that would get larger and larger. My chest started looking that way until finally I was like, it's starting to look gnarly and it's super noticeable, so I had to get it surgically removed.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That kind of makes sense.
Dude.
Because with gyno, a lot of times you see it, fighters or people have it on both sides of the chest.
Yeah, I don't know enough about like steroid-induced gyno, whether or not it can affect just one side. It looks similar also right here. It looked almost like a partially torn pectoral as well, which can make it look like that as well. He didn't say anything about it being injured, but...
Somebody also said on there that it looked like fluid from either an injury or a pain injection.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be so many things. The fact that it's on one side makes me think that it's probably not steroid induced, but I don't know if steroids can make it happen on just one side. They might be able to.
John Jones tweeted something like, "What's up with his right tit?" or something like that, and like somebody was like, "It's from steroids. You should know."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh damn, John, you should have known before you even posted that. People were gonna be like just firing off at him."
They asked him about it in the post-fight press conference.
Oh, they did.
There were like a lot of fighters on social media, like John Jones, Marvin Vittori, are talking about your chest, like asking like what's going on there, and like can you like elaborate or some shit like that. And he just said, "Why are these guys looking at my titties?" And then moved on to the next question. And people were like, "Oh, he danced around the question. Oh, it's not an injury, so it must be steroids." And it's like, dude, it could be so many things.
It could be anything, man. It could be anything. I when I take a look at Adesanya, I know I texted you that yesterday just talking shit.
Yeah.
But I really don't think Adesanya's dirty.
Yeah, well, what about when he's leaving? As soon as he enters the locker room hallway, Jeff Nowitzki's standing right there, and he looks over and he's like, "Cleanest athlete in the game," and then just keeps walking. It's like, damn, I hope he's not going to test positive.
Nah, he won't.
I don't think he will.
He won't. Test positive for awesome, that's it.
Yeah, man.
All right, so I did want to ask you this other thing.
Mm-hmm.
With some news that you texted me about yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
McGregor versus Pacquiao.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's fight-wise, it's real dumb. But if Pacquiao's donating most of his paycheck, which is going to be a ton of money to COVID treatments and COVID like response stuff over there, fuck it. That's cool.
Yeah, McGregor's going to donate a lot of his money too.
What was that?
The McGregor household.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where, in my opinion, Conor's not a contender. He's just not a contender. So if he wants to have fun fights off on the side, albeit, you know.
Yeah, and you know me, Will.
Mm-hmm.
I love entertainment.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the big reasons that we watch sports is to be entertained, right? So for me, on the entertainment scale, this is super entertaining for me.
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah, I love McGregor.
Yeah.
I love McGregor.
Yeah.
I'm a big Pacquiao fan, and I think that this is something for Pacquiao that's very low risk, high reward.
Yeah.
It's going to be good for the people of the Philippines, right? With a lot of the money going towards relief for COVID-19. McGregor, I'm a big McGregor fan, so for me to see McGregor get another big payday, like I'm all for it, dude. Will, if somebody told you, hey, go box Manny Pacquiao and you're going to make $90 million, would you do it?
Yeah, get fucked up for $90 million, easy.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well,
so good for both of them.
Yeah,
they're both going to be getting something out of it.
Yeah.
And am I going to watch? Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, do I expect this to be one of the most technical boxing matches I've ever watched?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Do I expect this to be something where McGregor beats Pacquiao and now McGregor's moving up the ranks in the boxing world? No.
Yeah, no. I mean, Pacquiao's pretty much irrelevant in boxing now.
Yeah,
You know what
I mean, although he's looked pretty good in his last couple fights.
Yeah, but I mean...
I'm going into this knowing this is purely entertainment.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
For me...
And even then...
For me, the problem...
Like, it's entertainment that still makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's still a fighter versus a fighter. It's not like a Jake Paul or Logan Paul versus Mayweather.
Well, for me...
Which they're talking about.
Yeah, for me, I don't give a shit about this because it doesn't take away from the UFC whatsoever. If Conor retired, if Conor actually stayed retired, I wouldn't care whatsoever. You know what I mean? With Khabib as the champ, he'll never be champ. Maybe once Khabib retires, he could be champ again. I don't know. But for me, it's so different than when he fought Mayweather, because when he fought Mayweather, he just won the belt. He put the division on hold. And that should piss me off, because there was other clear contenders, Tony Ferguson, things like that. Khabib was coming up.
Yeah.
So you don't just win the belt and then put a division on hold, never defend your belt, and just go fight in another sport. That means nothing in a fight you're never going to win. So, like, what's the point other than money? Don't do that with the belt. Vacate the belt. You know what I mean? So, for me, that's why I didn't like the Mayweather fight. But for this, it's like, who gives a fuck? This is a retired fighter who has no relevance in MMA right now.
Well, he's not retired.
I mean, when's the last time he fought?
No, he's still on the roster, though. And Dana White has said that he's still going to fight in the UFC next year.
Yeah, but right now he's retired. If you talk to him, he'll tell you he's retired. And, he has no relevance in the sport right now. The sport is moved on past him.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Right? Where for a while there, it was, if McGregor leaves the UFC's in trouble.
Yeah.
But there's so many stars within the UFC right now.
I mean,
again, we just talked about one right now with Adesanya.
Yeah.
This guy can absolutely carry the UFC brand.
Yeah.
Even with Stipe and Ngannou, and you think about a lot of different fighters that are extremely marketable for the UFC.
Khabib, Khamzat's about to be huge.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Next fight is a main event against a ranked opponent.
Yeah.
Is what Dana said, right?
Stephen Thompson or Leon Edwards.
So much to look forward to. Leon Edwards, I told you. Yeah. So much to look forward to in the UFC, even without McGregor, where you're right.
Yeah,
I think that the sport has he's not as relevant as he used to be.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, book McGregor in a pay-per-view, dude's still going to sell a lot of pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely.
He's still going to sell gates out. And the whole reason that he wasn't fighting, according to McGregor, is because the UFC was telling him, if we can't bring in a gate, then we want to put you on the shelf for now.
Yeah.
Which is not McGregor's fault. He wanted to have 3 fights in the year.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you look at he has 1 win in the last 4 years, and it's against
That's rough.
Old Man Cowboy.
That's rough.
Yeah.
1 win in the last 4 years is pretty rough, man.
Yeah.
But he has that star power.
Yeah.
And again,
no
entertainment is there.
As soon as he comes back, ticket sales go up, pay-per-views go up. It doesn't matter. But the reality is, especially in that...
He'll sell out a gate in Fight Island with no people in there.
Yeah. Yeah, people
he
will swim.
He could sell.
Yeah. And, but you look at the divisions he fights in, he's never going back to featherweight. He's not a real welterweight. Nope. So lightweight is his division. I think Dustin beats him if they fight again. Obviously,
I'd love to see that fight.
Yeah, same. I would love to see the Tony fight.
I'd love to see that fight too.
I'd love to see him fight Gaethje.
I'd love to see that fight too.
While Khabib's the champ, he's never going to get a shot at the belt again. And if he does, it's going to go exactly the same way. So it's just one of those things where, let him fight whoever the fuck he wants outside of the UFC. As long as he's not holding a belt, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it, man.
Yeah.
Good way to look at it. Are you going to watch?
Yeah, I'll watch it. It's just one of those things where it's a lose-lose for Conor, though. That's what sucks. Because if Conor beats Mayweather, it's because Mayweather's over 40 years old and clearly way past his prime. But and if he loses, he got picked apart by an old boxer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lose-lose for Conor, in my opinion. Other than
I see McGregor getting hurt in this one.
Really?
I see McGregor getting hurt in this one.
Yeah, there's Mayweather isn't as vicious as a striker as Pacquiao. You know what I mean?
No,
Pacquiao's vicious.
Pacquiao's got more punching power, and like I said, even on his last fight, he still looked pretty damn good, man. How dare you, man? He's a senator.
Yeah, but he's a
nice man.
Is he though?
Yes.
How
dare you?
What do gay people think about him?
Okay, he's a nice man, except for gay people, I guess. He's not very nice to gay people.
Yeah.
But look, dude, I'm just saying, he's a legend.
Yeah.
Right. He still has his footwork still looks solid. He still looked pretty damn quick. His last fight still ended in a TKO, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, I wonder what drug testing they're gonna do for that. Because honestly,
none.
I don't want to watch it if Pacquiao can't be on the juice. To be honest.
Yeah, no drug testing is what they'll probably agree to. Let me see.
Yeah, I really hope so.
I don't see it.
Pacquiao
versus Broner.
Why the
there it is. Versus Thurman. Pacquiao versus Thurman.
Yeah. And
like I said, he still looked pretty damn good even at his age, man. So, I'll watch it. But like I said, I think McGregor's probably going to get knocked out on this one.
Yeah, well, we've seen the kryptonite to Conor is volume, at least striking-wise.
Yeah.
Obviously, the real kryptonite is wrestling, but the kryptonite striking-wise is volume. He has a ton of volume.
Yeah, so just thought I would ask you about that, see what you thought, and whether you'd be looking forward to that fight, whether you'd be watching.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely watch that. I like watching boxers get to show off their skill set against in a competitive way against someone who is not at that level. I like when, like the saying, like there's levels to this. I like when that gets very clearly shown. So I think a lot of people put disrespect on how different boxing really is.
In my research, I also find out that on April 17, 2014, Manny Pacquiao announced his intention to join the Philippine Basketball Association, the PBA.
Yeah.
So, where it talks about his career, there's other in-career professional basketball player.
Yeah.
Senator, professional basketball player, one of the best boxers of all time. What can't this guy do?
Yeah, I wonder what weight they're going to fight at.
Actor? Dude,
yeah, I know.
I need to stop reading about this guy.
Homophobe?
I need to stop reading. I'm just... He does it all.
He does it all.
He does it all. Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, we'll get more info on the fight, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As time goes
what
on.
Weight do you think they're gonna do?
I do. Oh shit, I don't know. Probably 154.
Fuck. See, that's the only thing that bothers me is Pacquiao's probably too small. You know what I mean? Because. Yeah.
Isn't that what he fought Mayweather at?
I don't know what he fought Mayweather at. I thought they fought even lighter than that. Wait, who? Pacquiao or Conor?
No, Conor.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, but Pacquiao.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was around the same.
Pacquiao's like a 146 pounder. You know what I mean?
But then he also punches harder than Mayweather. I'm telling you, man. I really think that McGregor's gonna get hurt fighting Pacquiao.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
There's levels, yeah. Boxing's just so different, you know.
It is. Well, that's all I got, Will. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
No?
No.
All right. Well, that makes another episode. Thank you so much for listening to Story of the Fight, everybody. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to Story of the Fight. We really appreciate everybody's support. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, and when you do subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification button as well. That way you get notified whenever we upload anything new. Don't forget to hit the like button. It goes a long way for us. And leave some comments. We love interacting with everybody.
Yeah, and if you want to stay even more up to date, you can follow us at Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter. And you can email us at storyofthefight@gmail.com. Ask questions, give us feedback, critique us. We want to make this better, and input helps us do that.
Thanks for listening to Story of the Fight, everybody.